Alright, let's continue with setting this up. So I'm still in the admin page here, and what I want to do real quick is I just want to complete this part up here so we don't have to think about this more. So in our edit button here, I have my dialog true. I just want to set up a click function, another click function here. So we have our function attached, or a method attached to this here. This one I'm going to use the edit item here, and the thing is here we want to make sure, just like when we do a delete down here, right? We are sending in the item and then the ID so the system knows which one to delete, right? It's going through the loop. But what we want to do is we want to send a little bit more. We're not only interested in the ID, we're interested in everything in the object here. So we're going to send the entire item along with this down here. So make sure you put item in here, and so we scroll down to our, where'd it go? Here, our edit item. Down here, we also make sure that we type in item, right? So we pass this along here as well. Now, in this one, we're going to, what we want to do here is actually once we click the button over here, let's do a save. And once we click the button here, what I wanted to do is I want to take the information and put them in here because we're using the V model already, right? So we want to, if I click veggie, bagel veggie, it should say bagel veggie, the description and the price here, right? It's going to be a simple edit here. And I'm also having my view open here instead of my console. So if you don't have this, you can just follow my screen. But this is a really good tool that's being built into Chrome. I'm not sure if in Firefox or Safari, but it's definitely part of Chrome. And we can actually track data really well in this system here. So what I want to do is, first things first, I want to set up this .item, and I have to remember I do that, yes, and I want to set this to item here. So let's click save first, and let's see what this does to our system. So again, I'm tracking, using this to track over here. So if we expand this, content, this is all the stuff I have, and my anonymous component here is actually this one over here. And if I click this, I can see I have a basket that's empty because there's nothing in it. The dialog is false, so if I click the open, it should change it to true. Great. And then I have 3 different objects in my array. That are these 3 things here, and I can see my subtotal and total. So I can actually track live the different things that are happening here. All right, so let's continue setting up everything here. So what we're doing with the edit, we're storing each item we're clicking. So once I click, pass down the item from up here, I'm pointing at the screen, you can see. Once I click the edit item, I'm passing along the item. I am then grabbing it here, and then I'm storing it for each click I do. So what I want to do now is I want to set up the V model, of course, because it's no longer named, because that's strange. What it is instead, it is, I can't even remember what it is, it's name, description, and price, that's right. So we want to use the item because that's what we are setting down here. So if you call this pizza, then you of course need to call it pizza up here as well, where I am right now. But right now I'm just using item and then the name. I'm going to use this in front of each of those. First one is name, the second one is description, and the last one was the price. So make sure it is in the correct, I'm not actually sure you need to be the correct way, but for me this is easier. Name, description, price. Awesome. Click save. Let's go to our browser real quick. Let's see if we can actually track the data, and let's do a login. And now a book. That's because probably since we're storing them in an item here, we haven't actually declared it down here in our data. So scroll down to your data, type up item, and then create an empty array. And click save. And what that actually does now, if we click over here again, you can see we have an items array which is empty right now, and if I click pop up here, we can see this says bagel, salmon, and the price. We can also see the object over here has says salmon, we have an ID, we have the name and the price, and if I close this and I switch it, this one switches as well. So now we can actually start tracking on which specific item we're clicking, and we have the correct ID that we can use to do the update later on and everything. So we're tracking everything, and we can again use the view component or plugin extension, I think it's called in Chrome, to track this. So this is a very good tool if you want to continue working with Vue to track or debug or find errors or something like that if the console doesn't help you. So let's clear this. This looks crazy. So we have all the errors is also gone now since we set up everything we should. But Vue, this little debugger here is like the best tool if you want to develop in Vue as well. I don't know if I mentioned before, but definitely start using it. I will be using this in the coming videos as well. Awesome. So that's set up now. We can click this pop-up box. We get the data in here. And the next thing is we're going to do is we're going to create the actual update for it.